we've got a press briefing from Karoline Mommy Levitt today. It's her first press briefing in a while. It's been a while since we heard Mommy talk. Of course, she got a baby in her stomach, but we've got to mention market. We've got everything going on with the DHS shutdown. We've got everything going on with the airports shutting down, the Iran war seemingly coming to a close, or some would say excursion. But I'm imagining her press briefing is going to be focused on those two topics, the DHS shutdown and Iran. So we've got a press briefing. It's been a little bit since we've had one from Caro, but I've got some positions. We'll get into it before Caro starts to yap. I've got Iran now as a hedge, just in case this isn't her. But she's going to say Iran. She's 100% going to say Iran. It's just a little hedge, just in case, for some reason, it's not Caro that pops out. Nuclear, yes. This shit's a bond, because she's going to come out and say that we've agreed that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. She said it last time. Shutdown, no. This is a little bit of a fun lotto I'm doing, because Kara loves the spam reopen. And it used to be that the government shutdown line was scripted during other shutdowns, like it was scripted into the opening remarks. She had to say shutdown. But I think last press briefing, it wasn't scripted. She did, and she dodged shutdown. So, just hoping that she hits reopen. Time to make some fucking money, says Nick. Let's go. Nick put me on. I'm on Epic Fury, yes. 500 shares. This is scripted as hell. I don't know if Caro decided to call it Epic Fury or who made that decision, but she loves this name. She'll say, Operation Epic Fury is going great. We've obliterated their entire nuclear program, all of their leaders, and they're 1 week away from a nuclear bomb, but Epic Fury's going great. So I think she's going to say Epic Fury. There's no reason. The war is still going on, so there's no reason it should tail off, I don't think. I've got LaGuardia, yes. I think she's going to get asked about LaGuardia. I really think so. This is like a left talking point, if anything. I know it has nothing really to do with the DHS shutdown because it's air traffic control. But I think the left can use it as an example of just the mayhem in airports going on, if that makes sense. And then I think if someone brings it up as a question, she says, like, my condolences to LaGuardia, what's happened at the LaGuardia airport. But we've seen with, and then get back into the right talking point of this is what happens when Democrats decide they want to have health care for illegal aliens instead of... Wait, health care for illegal aliens? That's actually low-key it's low-key a cook. Buy some health care, yes. Buy like 200 shares. This is what happens when the Democrats want to give health care to illegal aliens instead of support TSA. So I think LaGuardia comes up. Sanctuary, the right has just been like slamming on sanctuary cities. Like what's happened with Minnesota, the fraud that's happening with California. I think like they'll say, we are going to try to protect you guys, but the sanctuary cities, I think that could come up as, it's a real like talking point with the right currently. She said it, she didn't miss it in the last briefing, but she said it in other ones. So it's a bit of a lotto pick as well, but I really like sanctuary just as a right talking point right now. They're kind of pushing it. And that's what I got. I have no no's because I'm not a pussy. Mama didn't raise a pussy. I've got no Supreme Court. Every no I take on Caro, I always lose. So I don't know if there's a real point of taking no's on Caro. Dude, I just lose. Every no I get, she's instantly hits, but okay. I'll buy some more Supreme Court no. And if she hits Supreme Court today, that's a confirmation of my thesis that every no I buy on Karoline, she hits anyways. So I mean, like, the Supreme Court, it could have come up in random context, but it shouldn't. She really should have no reason to say it today. So Save Act? Save Act's probably a bond. Save Act, yes, is what you're talking about. Fun bags. Nick's, yeah, I agree, Nick. I think she's like made the title with how much she said Epic Fury. I think Save Act comes up. Save Act's near a bond. I mean, Save America Act is what she'll call it. If you really think Save America Act is coming up like a lot, you can go transgender, yes. Because, of course, like transgender is one of the 5 talking points of the Save Act. The 5th one, transgender mutilization of children. But last press briefing, she read out all 5 in her opening statement of the Save America Act. I don't think she does that again. I don't think she reads out all 5 steps again. So, but I do like Save Act, yes. I don't know about transgender, yes, though. It's such a Save Act specific thing. She can just say men and women sports as she's trying to generalize, but I just don't think she goes through the 5-step program again like she did last time. The LaGuardia's gone up since. That's good. That means maybe a reporter is planning on asking about it. Where's Illegal Alien? It's really high. Illegal Aliens are pretty high, but let's be honest, this shit's a bond, bro. She loves saying Illegal Alien, so we'll buy some yes. We'll buy some yes Illegal Alien. She just loves it. But I can see the healthcare for Illegal Aliens line coming out because of the DHS shutdown. So we'll put a little bit more bread on healthcare yes as a little lotto. They want to give healthcare to the legal aliens. But yeah, I mean, these are my pretty big. Sanctuary is a bit of a lotto. Healthcare is a bit of a lotto, but fraud is interesting because everything going on with California right now. Cracking down on the fraud. Let's pull up Caro's Twitter. Like Hormuz, kind of a bond. Yeah, like fraud chief. Senate confirms DOJ fraud chief. Minnesota daycare. She could really talk about the Nick Shirley stuff going on with California. I like fraud. I kind of like fraud just as a genuine topic that's gonna get brought up. This is in the chance of opening or Q&A, so I kind of like it. What's up, Contingency? How you doing, bro? He wishes good luck. Right now, biggest position is right now Epic Fury, yes. I've got it in 69 cents. LaGuardia's up since. I just don't see how Karoline can like get a LaGuardia question and not say the airport. I mean, she could, I guess, just say airports, but this could, I don't know. It's a little bit overpriced, sort of now. I think 50-50 is a bit crazy. I don't think it's in the opening statement or anything. Your biggest is Supreme N. Supreme Court N. So, contingency, I just made up this thesis right now. I just bought Supreme Court no. And every time I buy a no on Karoline, she hits it. Like, I swear to God. The last 10 no's I bought on Karoline, she has said. I bought, like, Ukraine no last time at, like, at 60 cents. Like, and then she hits it. Talking about Biden. So, if she hits Supreme Court today, it is literally my fault. Because it's the only no I have. The only no I've got is Supreme Court right now. So, I'm sorry. I'll buy some more. Just to, if she hits Supreme Court, it's completely my fault. I'll be honest. Because I'm buying no. But I just don't see how she talks about it. I just don't see how it comes up. So, my fault. I might have just blown up your spot. But 61 cents is really good. That's a really good average. Ryan says, take any positions on the new how long market. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think this one will go over. Ryan, I think this one will go over just because it's not been a... It's been a long time since the last White House press briefing. Like, over 2 weeks? So I think usually the standard is that every time she has a press briefing right after that, like right before one that just happened, it's very short. But whenever there's like a break in between, a couple weeks break, she's got a lot on her mind. She has to say. She's more open to taking more questions just because there was, more news she needs to cover. So I'm kind of going long on this one. I've got some on 50, but I was trying to get filled that this might have been like a little cheapskate bid, but I think this one will go longer than normal. It's just there's not much liquidity on this market. Like if I could get this spot 40 or above, I think it'll go over. If that makes sense. 40 or above, I think it does. You've got under 45. Risky man. She is pregnant though. So you have to if you're not tracking Karoline's cycles to determine how long her press briefings are going to be, you're not going to make it, bro. If you don't have the Flow app and you are monitoring Karoline's cycle. Oh! Yep, I know this one's going to go short. The baby's kicking. But that's the length market. I think this goes over in general because it's been a while. You just probably won't get much fills on this market unless you are, of course, Baron Trump. Gotta use the toilet often? Maybe. Do we have like an excuse me strike? A restroom strike would be kind of fire. Alright, Epic Fury's a little pumping up a little bit. People paying the premium for Epic Fury. Other bonds like Hormuz. Yes. I don't know. It's not like a complete bond. I feel like decay-wise, news decay, but also negotiate's a little interesting. She says negotiator like later, but she does kind of spam it. She does kind of spam negotiation, but I mean, it's always in reference to like the previous Iranian regime. It's kind of falling off, so. You see that Kelsey Discord has this new guy, Rigatoni? Yeah. Referring to when people says, Rigatoni, that guy is who Trump is referring to when he says people will let out of mental institutions. What the hell? Yo, Rigatoni, bro. Auditor Darren's on your case. He's saying you're from a mental institution, bro. Not gonna lie. He might be right, because Rigatoni's crazy, but he's like crazy in a good way. So, I don't know if you can like call him Hannibal Lecter, but like, Hannibal Lecter was genius. You know what I'm saying? He just like in the wrong way. Still, Rigatoni is sharp. But he is a little crazy. I mean, some of the bids he's doing, he probably has 2,000 shares of Healthcare Yes right now. And I pray for both of us it hits, but he is a bit wild when it comes to buying cheap Yes shares. So, you're fine, Franny. You're low-key fine. You're high-key fine, bro. Alright. Where's KR? Where's our baby mama? Let's refresh our X. FBI is interesting. I don't really ever get the chance to, like, understand FBI. I mean, it might hit in LaGuardia. It might hit with LaGuardia Airport question. It might hit with... I'm not sure. I'm not sure how else FBI hits. It's not like Nancy Guthrie's a thing anymore. I don't know if any, like, major terrorist thing has gone on. I don't know if that's crazy to say, but... I mean, they swore in the ICE guy, Mark Mahone. There's not much... There's not much that FBI would go towards, I don't think. Like, what could FBI apply to? I mean, maybe Memphis? Maybe this safe America? I don't know about, nah. It's not like anything crazy just happened. No endorsement? I don't know who he would be endorsing. They're definitely not going to talk about the Mar-a-Lago election that happened. The district that Mar-a-Lago was in, I think yesterday or the day before, switched to blue. They voted Democrat for the first time in a while. So the county that Trump votes in, he does vote. By mail-in ballot, by the way. But the country he votes in switched blue, and the guy he endorsed lost. So, but I'm not sure how they would talk about endorsement. I don't think she'll say, he endorses the new Ayatollah. The sun is my new endorsement. So, I don't think that. I just don't see how that hits. Let's see, what else is Kara talking about? I mean, we got the Memphis Task Force, bunch of clip farming she did of Trump, Marco, cyber attacks, AI risk, nothing she's going to talk about. Yeah, this isn't Iran and DHS focus, really. I kind of really like healthcare, then. This is going to be really DHS shutdown focused. I feel like healthcare is a pretty good strike right now. You're no different than North Korean state media. Okay. But, I kind of like healthcare for illegal aliens is such a line. When's the last time she said healthcare? We can look at this. Last time Caro said healthcare was, I'm using mention metrics, by the way. I'll just throw it here. This is Caro. We'll do healthcare or healthcare. Oh, this is when she was announcing the healthcare plan. I mean, like, yeah. But, she hasn't hit it for a while. And so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm actually quite wrong, but... Okay, I've lost a little bit of faith in healthcare there, looking at the examples. Because these are all scripted. These are all scripted examples, like Trump unveiled a healthcare plan, greatest healthcare plan. She said healthcare for illegal aliens? Is that a... I mean, maybe Kara doesn't say that. I'm hallucinating, but... Rigatoni likes LaGuardia. I don't know about that. I'm on LaGuardia, yes. I'm on yes. Lord. I just don't see... I feel like it gets brought up. And I just don't see how she says it. She answers a LaGuardia question without saying it. I guess she could say this is just the rampage on the airports, but... I like LaGuardia, yes. I kind of like LaGuardia, yes. I'm not in love with it, though, but... When would sanctuary come up? So this is about, like, sanctuary cities. So they did the Memphis Task Force a couple days ago, and the whole right talking point is that sanctuary cities are stopping the president and the federal government from helping cities be more safe. And that makes sense, that ICE can't come in and help in sanctuary cities. So I think especially if like fraud's a talking point, we're going to be talking about California, we're going to be talking about Minnesota, and the Memphis Safe Task Force that just happened. I think just a right talking point is sanctuary cities and how they are destructible. Like, it's kind of a lotto. She didn't say it in the last one. She has said it before, though. But I think just because the Memphis Safe Task Force came up before the last briefing as well, that she can make a point to a lot of these left-leaning reporters that sanctuary cities need to end. She could say, I'm going to call on Congress to end the ridiculous sanctuary cities so we can make, America safe again or whatever. So, it's kind of a lotto, but I just think it's a talking point that the right have been pushing. So, and I can see it coming up if she's going to talk about the Memphis Task Force, and people are going to ask about the new ICE guy, Mark Mullane, whatever his name is, the Kristi Noem replacement. So, swearing in the new ICE chief. I think all of that combined, sanctuary cities can come up. Especially if we talk about fraud, and then the fraud leads into Minnesota, which leads into sanctuary cities. So, Minneapolis or whatever. So wait, if she says Department of Homeland Security, that counts for DHS, right? No. It doesn't. It does not, sir. She has to say specifically DHS or ICE. Or, I guess you could say ICE. I guess that would work. Or ICE? I guess if she talks about like ices, like the drink, technically that doesn't count. Yeah, the icy is spelled with a ICEE, So technically, if she talks about like drinking ices, that doesn't count. But she has to specifically say DHS or ICE. I think it hits anyways, but you are onto something in the fact that she does like to say Department of Homeland Security. If I pull up the last one, here we got the last Karoline. Let's do Homeland Security. She said that a bunch of times, Department of Homeland, but how many times did she say DHS? Once. Actually, no, she never said it because these are reporters asking it, huh? Yeah. Okay, did she say ICE then? She didn't say ICE or she didn't say DHS. Oh, who took that? Who's took that from me? Yo, guys, chill. Low key. Okay, at least y'all let me got it at 9 cents. I'll take 9 cents, okay? She's definitely gonna say ICE or DHS though, I'm gonna be honest, but she definitely will probably dodge DHS by saying Department of Homeland Security. Now, ICE is a bit tough because of the ICE agents in airports. But she could say federal agents. She technically could say federal agents, so I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. You know what? We'll add another 75 shares. We're at a clean... Oh, what the hell? Let me get a clean 200. Let me get an even number. There we go. Hi, Lee. I'm excited for... Yeah, Mommy's speaking. Stock market lotto? Isn't the stock market, like, not great? I don't know. She doesn't really... She only, like, says this shit when it's booming. And I don't think it is. I don't know. All my money's in Kalshi. So I wouldn't even know, but... I need all those bets getting, not gonna lie. Any thoughts for how long she talks for? We were talking about this before, but the long market, I think, goes long. Or the length. I think this one goes long just because she hasn't had one for a while. It's been over 2 weeks, so... Usually, when there's a break between briefings, the next one is longer. So, just there's more news to cover. She's more interested in different questions. Transgender Y? No. I'm not on transgender Y. I mean, it's kind of cheap, but this is, of course, part of the SAVE Act. But last time, she read it out completely, like the 5 SAVE Act. She read out all 5 of the SAVE Act things, and she said, she said it last time, but I don't think she reads it out. I think that was his last briefing. she read out all 5. I don't think she does that again. There's not really a reason to do that again, so. I'm kind of on transgender no, but. I'll buy a little bit. I just don't think she reads it out again. She, of course, can, like, have it come up just when you're talking, but I don't think she reads all 5 things of the SAVE Act again. She already did that 2 weeks ago. Healthcare, yes. Yeah, I'm on healthcare, yes. Just for the fact that it's DHS shut down, so she could say, you know, the Democrats, they want to give healthcare to illegal aliens instead of opening up our airports or whatever, paying our TSA officers. It's a little bit of a lotto. I kind of like the lotto on healthcare, yes. So, why is oil so high? Because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. No, I bet you're talking about the word oil. I mean, I don't think she's ever missed this. There is going to probably be a section on Hormuz and oil prices, gas prices, so. Oil, yes, makes sense, I think, to be that high. I think it makes sense. There's just going to be a thing on Trump's statement on opening the Strait of Hormuz. She's going to say oil. Hormuz, yes, for sure, right? I mean, I feel like nuclear is even more of a bond than Hormuz. That's why I took Hormuz. That's why I took nuclear instead of Hormuz. If you're talking about a bond, I like nuclear because of the agreement to no nuclear weapons. But Hormuz has to, like, she has to say Hormuz too, I think. So, kind of make some fucking money. I'm excited, lads. Yeah. I mean, and Caro does tend to say Hormuz, so she sounds smarter, you know? She likes to say the full thing. Trump more likes time, if that makes sense. He more values time. So he'll just say the Strait, because that's faster. But Karoline actually prefers to sound smarter than she is. So she'll say the Strait of Hormuz. So she knows what she sounds like she knows what she's talking about. Because my theory is she gets briefed on all this stuff before coming out. So, like, another staffer will tell her about the Strait of Hormuz. And she's hearing all this come in through her ears, and she has to, like, retain it. So she'll say Hormuz to try to sound smart. But as well, Trump, with the 24-hour or 48-hour tweet he put out, that Hormuz has to be open in 48 hours. That's one of the agreements that they came with, was that the Strait of Hormuz is opened and that they get paid. They get repaid in oil. So, did you see Adam Schiff tweet about prediction markets? The Center for Khaled's so dumb. He was the guy on. He was on like a TV show, right? Interview. He sent it to me. I'll look at it. I'll react to it live. I'll make fun of that doofus live. Karoline is 28. Her husband is 60. Dang. Yo, Lee is on that timing. Lee's on that type of timing. Yeah, bro. Her husband's twice the age of her. And he's probably some ex-Palantir, Peter Thiel informant, but who is I always forget. Is it just a random guy? I don't think it's... Yeah, I think it's just a random guy. Levitt has described him as an introvert and the opposite. Uh-oh. Is there some, there's some drama brewing? Okay, let me message her. Let me message Caro. Just in case anything's, going on. If anything happens at home, I'm here, baby girl. By the way, can you please say healthcare? Thank you very much. Alright. Yeah, message her I love you. I feel like that's kind of straightforward, no? How do I show you guys? Secret Service is gonna arrest you? No. She's not gonna look at this. I hope she does, though. What's the fair value that she looks at her DMs before she says she leaves? I don't know how to expand it. Is it Alt? Oh, there you go. Alt. Okay. Okay, so we sent our Caro. We sent our Caro messages. Just in case. I mean, you know. Caro saying he's an introvert, the opposite. We could have a chance. I'm not an introvert, Caro. I'm quite the personality. Okay. Let's get back on it. Oh, can you tell her to say stupid question? Yeah, bro, I got you. I'll call her. I'll call her later. I think this goes over. Oh, here we go. All right, she must have seen my DM.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see all of you. Thanks for coming today, as always. We're going to start with some scheduling announcements. This evening, President Trump will deliver remarks at Union Station for a political dinner. Tomorrow morning, the president will host the second cabinet meeting of the year and the 11th cabinet meeting of
Okay, here we go, boys.
And later tomorrow afternoon, the president will host a Greek Independence Day celebration in the East Room. On Friday, the president will celebrate National Agriculture Day alongside nearly 1,000 farmers who are coming in from across the country for the first event of the season on the South Lawn, so pray for good weather, to highlight the president's successful policies in support of America's farmers.
Affordable.
Including efforts to lower input costs,
make it more affordable for farmers. Come on.
Bolster the farm safety net, double the death tax exemption, end taxes on rural property loan interest, and create rural opportunity zones. Also, I'm pleased to announce that President Trump's meeting and a long-awaited meeting with President Xi in China will take place in Beijing on May 14th.
The little China update immediately. First thing to hit.
And President Trump will also host President Xi and Madam Peng for a reciprocal visit in Washington, D.C. at a later date to be announced this year.
Come on.
Turning to the ongoing military operations in Iran.
Epic Fury.
The United States military continues to decimate the terrorist Iranian regime's offensive and defensive capabilities. Just over 3 weeks in, it's abundantly clear that Operation Epic Fury has been a military triumph.
Fuck my chud life.
Enemy targets have been struck.
What a chud name, bro. Epic Fury. Let's go, boys. There's one. Easy, money.
90%. The United States is
watch the shutdown. No, survive. Come on, Kara.
We have destroyed more than 140 of their naval vessels.
Hold on.
Including almost 50.
Has she said Iran yet? She must have.
This is the largest elimination of a navy over a 3-week period since World War II. Again, let me reiterate. This is the largest
Epic Fury cash
on the face of the planet in a 3-week period since World War II. We are systematically dismantling Iran's defense industrial base to prevent future threats to the region. Our military also remains laser focused on eliminating the regime's threat to the free flow of energy through the Strait of Hormuz. Over the weekend, we dropped
Hormuz? Okay, guys, I'm just speeding up to get to we're at the fastest. Sorry, boys, for the delay. We're at the fastest now. Hormuz hit.
Successful with each passing day, steadily degrading Iran's ability to terrorize merchant ships.
Okay, she needs to get to nuclear, yes, though.
For all of these reasons, we are very close to meeting the core objectives of Operation Epic Fury and this military.
There's the second Epic Fury. Okay, what are those objectives, Caro?
President Trump and the Department of War estimated it would take approximately.
What are like those objectives you have with Iran? You want to get into them?
5 days in, the greatest military the world has ever known is ahead of schedule and performing exceptionally. Day by day, the Iranian regime is being crippled, and their ability to threaten the United States and our allies is being significantly weakened.
Allies?
Their ambitions of building a nuclear weapon have also been crushed to an even greater degree than they were in Operation Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer shout out. All right, Carol.
We're beginning to see the regime look for an exit ramp.
All right, yeah, there's nuclear. There's our bond cashing
American
in.
and allied forces, as well
Hormuz was as well a bond, boys.
Their own territory is dwindling literally hour by hour. Following President Trump's powerful threat on Saturday evening, it was made clear to the United States that Iran wanted to talk. President Trump is willing to listen. As President Trump
Negotiate?
announced on Monday, the United States has been engaged over the last 3 days in productive conversations.
Productive
which led
conversation.
the president to temporarily instruct the Department of War to postpone planned strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure only.
Are we talking
The
about
remaining
planned
elements of the
discussion?
Iranian
That doesn't
regime
sound like
have an
negotiate to
opportunity
me.
To cooperate with President Trump, permanently abandoned their nuclear
Oh, am I cooked?
ambitions and cease actively threatening
I think I'm
America
cooked. I
and
think.
our allies.
Did she just say
But
this?
the president's preference is always peace. There
Oh.
does not need to be any more death and destruction. But if Iran fails to accept the
Wait,
reality
I'm still
of the
alive.
current moment, if they fail to understand that they have been defeated militarily and will continue to be,
They will not
President
negotiate.
Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have ever been hit before.
That doesn't sound like a negotiation to
Trump
me,
does
bro.
not
I'm gonna be
bluff,
honest.
He is prepared to unleash hell.
Unleash
Iran did not
hell?
Miscalculate again. Their last miscalculation cost them their senior leadership, their Navy, their Air Force, and their air defense system. Any violence beyond this point will be because the Iranian regime refused to understand they have already been defeated and refused to come to a deal. Here at home, we are now on
Here at
day
home?
40 of the Democrats' shutdown of the Department
Ah,
of
she had
Security.
shut down immediately,
Democrats
bro.
in
That
Congress
was
are
scripted.
forcing American travelers to wait in hours-long lines at airports across the country,
All right.
robbing TSA officers
TSA?
and other federal workers of their hard-earned paychecks that they use
Let's get
to
through
feed their
ICE.
families and
DHS
causing
here.
billions of dollars in damage to our economy. A father of 3 recently told CBS News that he felt he had no other choice but to quit his job as a TSA officer and find other work as the Democrats'
Dang.
shutdown of DHS continues. This is the quote.
DHS? Nah.
I encourage everyone to listen.
All right, she just
I
blew
think
through
the
our
hardest
cheap
thing is
nose.
seeing the struggle that my wife was going through and not
She
being
blew through
not
him.
trying
Shut
to
down
bring more
no.
stress to her.
DHS
The father
no.
of 3
That's fine.
said, but seeing her cry every night, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to survive? For the Democrats in Congress, the cruelty of this shutdown is the point. Nearly 500
All right, she's
TSA
spamming
officers
shutdown
have
now.
quit since the
I
Democrats
swear she
shut
didn't do this
down.
last briefing, bro.
President
I
Trump,
swear.
to alleviate this pressure, made the decision to send some of our amazing ICE agents to help alleviate
There's
that stress
ICE.
and address the long
Yeah, this
wait
one was
time.
cooked, huh?
And for all of the critics of this solution a few days ago when it was proposed by the president, it is yielding results. Wait times have improved since ICE arrived.
Like
and they're
LaGuardia
leveraging
Airport.
their power to help their fellow federal service
Possible?
members.
Like
It's
LaGuardia?
important to take a step back and remember, why is this even happening in the first place? For nearly 6 weeks, Democrats in Congress have kept DHS shut
I
down.
didn't even realize
because they care
Israel's
more
there.
about illegal aliens than
Oh,
American
illegal aliens.
citizens. You have Democrat elected representatives in states across the
Come on,
country who are
healthcare.
willing to inflict massive pain on their own constituents to fight for illegal aliens who broke our nation's laws to come here. In recent days, we saw the deadly consequence of this deranged policy of Democrat open borders and an illegal alien first agenda.
Illegal
A
alien
beautiful
first agenda.
18-year-old girl, Sheridan Gorman. She
Is
was
crazy.
shot and killed in Chicago last Thursday
Healthcare,
morning
though. We're
while
hoping.
walking in a park with friends. The suspect in custody for
Uh,
murdering her is a Venezuelan.
This is also where
illegal
Sanctuary
alien
City
who
could
was
hit.
Caught and released at the
Oh,
border by the
Venezuelan.
Biden administration in May
Hit
of
off the,
2023.
hit off
Why
this.
would the Biden administration catch and release a Venezuelan illegal alien? That is not happening anymore. under this
Venezuela.
president. But there are still tens of thousands, if not millions, of these illegal aliens in our country.
Oh my God,
who seek to
Sanctuary,
harm
come on.
Innocent Americans, like this beautiful young woman whose family
Sanctuary
will never be the
cities
same
might get
because of
fucking
her
flamed
death.
here.
To make matters even worse, this monster was also released from local custody again after a shoplifting arrest.
Come on.
Where?
Sanctuary.
In the Sanctuary City
Yeah!
in June of 2023. Again, another innocent American citizen had her life stolen from her because Democrats embrace
Bam, baby.
border policies
Sanctuary
and
City.
city policies.
I tell you, dude, they
Criminals
hate
back to
them.
American
The right
communities.
hates sanctuary
How many more
cities.
Americans have to die before the Democrats end
Trying to make
this
some
madness?
fucking money, Nick.
President Trump's position is very clear. He wants the federal government opened. He wants the Department of Homeland Security funded, and he wants the Democrat shutdown to end immediately. The president will also continue to call on Democrat leaders in
Sanctuary, baby,
states
come on.
like J.B. Pritzker, where this
Oh, radical
beautiful
left?
girl was murdered, to cooperate with ICE and stop releasing illegal alien criminals into American neighborhoods. It is for the safety of every American citizen, including all of the people in this room. With that, I will take your questions. And
All right, so
today we have
She hit just a bunch, bro.
Karoline.
But
Thanks, Gabe, for being here.
Thank you.
We need a LaGuardia question still coming up.
If the war in Iran continues past this current round of
We've still got healthcare, yes.
on their way to the Middle East.
Bro, endorsement all the way up.
Either a number of ground troops or a number of days.
It's kind of crazy.
Will consider seeking authorization from Congress.
Well, as you know, right
no
now,
negotiate is still live. No oil too.
From Congress is not necessary because we're currently in major combat operations in Iran. The Department of
Operation in Iran.
Said, estimated about a 4 to 6 week timeline for the full
completion
of these military combat operations. We're again on day 25 today. And as a courtesy, nevertheless, the administration did notify Congress, the Gang of Eight, ahead of the launch of the operation 25 days ago. And we've also had our top national security officials go to Capitol Hill to brief lawmakers, again, out of courtsy and out of respect for them. So
why is LaGuardia so down?
Necessary, but of course, the president in this administration will always abide by the law.
I think this is always a Q&A, no?
Sure, go ahead.
Second question. In my reporting,
that was pretty shortly. You're right.
Many of whom voted for President Trump for the first time in 2024, hoping to have no more wars and to have lower prices. Now, with the war taking place and with gas prices going up, curious what President Trump's message would be to those.
I don't think she says Israel, bro.
His coalition in 2024, but maybe don't feel the administration's going as they.
She always says allies or allies.
He's doing this for young people so that we are no longer threatened by a rogue terrorist regime in the Middle East that seeks to kill the brave men and women who serve in our.
I mean, she could say death to Israel, but fuck.
Young people themselves.
I don't think she'll say Israel.
Who serve this country honorably in uniform and have been.
Okay, that's one we're gonna sweat out too.
By the rogue Iranian terrorist regime for 47 years, President Trump finally had the courage to step up and do what's right.
I mean, death to Israel.
I don't know. Security. As for the temporary short-term fluctuation in gas prices, the president said once these operations are over, this administration is going to continue.
She gonna dodge oil?
American energy dominance. We're continuing to do that every day, and we're going to see prices at the pump go back down, just as we have over the past year because of this president. And don't think for 1 second if the Democrats had their way, gas prices would be as they were in the previous administration.
Gas prices?
Administration, record high.
Oh, Ukraine?
The president is keeping them as low as he can during this short-term combat operation, and they're going to go right back down when this is over. Gabe.
I'll buy some no oil.
In the past few hours, Iranian state TV has said that Iran has rejected the U.S.'s 15-point plan to end the war. What's the White House's response to that?
15-point plan?
These talks hit a dead end.
They have not. Talks continue. They are productive, as the president said on Monday, and they continue to be.
Talks?
However, I saw a 15-point plan that was floated in the media. I would caution reporters.
Talks is quite a different word than negotiate.
Or speculative plans from anonymous sources. The White House never confirmed that full plan. There are elements of truth to it, but some of the stories I read were not entirely factual. So I am not going to negotiate on behalf of the president at the podium. What I will tell you is these talks are ongoing. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty details that have been exchanged between the United States and Iran at this time.
Well, yesterday the president mentioned a very big present that the Iranians had given the U.S. He wouldn't go into detail, but was it that ship that was carrying 2 million barrels of oil that went through the state of Hormuz?
I'll let the president speak on that at the appropriate time.
And then finally, Karoline,
oh, Kara with the fucking non-answer.
With the U.S.
Yo, she doesn't want to say oil, huh?
There was an attack in Iraq that hit a military clinic, killing 7 soldiers reportedly. What's the U.S.'s response to that? Was the U.S. responsible for that attack?
Yeah, I'll ask her the most stupid question ever, just to get her to say it. Kara, how'd you do your hair today?
As wrapping up, but the 82nd Airborne Division, they're typically deployed at the beginning.
Kara, you look fabulous. Can you tell us? What is your morning routine?
Conflict is wrapping up, or is it changing?
That's a stupid question.
As I said at the beginning of my remarks, we are meeting our goals of Operation Epic Fury expedition.
Epic Fury again.
The president likes to maintain options at his disposal. It's the Pentagon's job to provide those options to the commander-in-chief. For any specifics on troop deployments, though, I would point you to the Pentagon.
And today, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner reiterated threats to potentially arrest ICE agents that were sent in to assist with these historically long TSA lines. He said, quote, the president cannot pardon.
All right, LaGuardia might be. I'm a little scared on that one.
He cannot pardon you for what? He's talking about ICE agents who are
Ask
handing out
her,
water
Carol,
bottles in
did
our
you
health
put
and
oil
human
on your hair
services
today?
airports,
And she'll reply, that's a
products,
stupid
products.
question.
The
I
men
did
and
not
women in
put oil.
place
I
are
will not
great.
negotiate with
I would
you.
encourage this lawmaker whose name I don't know and don't care to know to actually sit down and speak with the ICE
Aren't those the
agents who are
LaGuardia
doing this important work,
hair
not just in our
implants?
nation's airports,
Aren't those the LaGuardia
but
hair
again, to
extensions,
remove
Carol?
violent, dangerous, illegal alien criminals from our country to protect this individual and all of us in this room and Americans across the country from murderers, pedophiles, and rapists who have been allowed into our country.
Pedophiles hit. Can we get a pedophile strike next time, Jake? What the frick?
Just given that the president postponed his original trip to China because of the war, should we infer that the war will be wound down and concluded by the time of that May 5th?
That's not a bad question. This guy's cooking low key.
Always estimated approximately.
What's the length
6
projecting?
weeks, so you could do the math on that, Mario.
Higher?
We do look forward. I know the president looks forward to going to China on May 14th.
This is 33,
And
but
of course, as always, we'll provide additional logistical details to all.
yeah,
of the
bro.
media.
I think she came up with Epic Fury.
Coming with us as well.
She's the chud that did
Was
it,
that a
Nick.
precondition? Did the two leaders speak about the conclusion of the war? Was that a precondition for them to have this?
Bro,
rescheduled?
Save Act 50-50?
So there was a discussion about
This was at 90.
scheduling of the meeting between the president and President.
It's
Xi
just whether or not she gets a question on
that it's
Save
very
Act.
important for the president to be here throughout these combat operations right now. He understood, obviously, the request to postpone and accepted it, which is why we have new dates on the books, and I'm happy to announce those to you today. Jennifer.
On the negotiations with Iran, are there still
Bro, it already hit.
base
There's no reason.
planned perhaps in Pakistan?
Yeah, I've seen videos. Most likely, Iran war will end soon.
Again, I've
Both
seen a lot of
China and
speculation,
US want to end
and
ASAP.
reports
And I bet Iran
of
does too,
talks
bro.
That could happen later this week. Nothing should be deemed official until it is.
That's a
deemed
decent
official
question, though.
By the White House.
The China
I would,
one?
Not get ahead of our skis on reporting about any talks this weekend until you hear directly from us.
Does the president think that all of the allies will go along with whatever the U.S.
Oh, no.
concludes with these Iranians? Are you expecting that Israel and all the other allies will follow?
You have to say the fucking name of the
The
country?
president has shown that he is absolutely the leader of the free world, the head of the most powerful military in the world, and in various examples, so the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza, the president has shown a very unique skill at getting our allies
This
to get on
chick,
board
bruh.
with
This
the best
reporter
interest of
had
the
to
United
say the
States, but
name. You
also
couldn't just say
for
allies?
a foreign policy like this. Ed.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. So, is
All
there
right.
a time frame as to when the first oil tanker can go through the Strait of Hormuz freely?
It's a very good question, Ed. I don't have a specific timeline for you today, but it's obviously something the administration is working towards
Oil?
as quickly as we can.
Yep, oil.
With respect to oil, as you know, the
Dang!
administration
Bro, I was
has
trying to get
taken
yes.
action.
I was trying to buy yes oil on that question.
Directed the U.S. DFC.
It's moving too fast right now. Yeah, I lost on Israel.
That temporary waiver to allow countries to purchase.
I felt you said oil on that
to
question.
alleviate global pressures. We're working with the IEA to coordinate the release
All right,
of
let's
another
save Act
400
that.
million barrels. We issued that 60-day Jones Day Act waiver, and then just today,
We'll buy some
EPA
Save
Administrator
America
Lee
Act.
Zeldin, if you missed it, in consultation with the Department of Energy, announced a temporary emergency fuel waiver to allow nationwide sales of E15, gasoline blended with 15% ethanol, to remove all federal impediments to selling E10 gasoline across the country.
I'll buy some
The
Save Act,
emergency
yes.
fuel waiver will temporarily waive the summer low volatility requirements and blending limitations for gasoline to provide additional flexibility to the fuel marketplace. So as far as tankers through the strait, something we're tracking very closely, but obviously the administration is coming up with creative new solutions by the day to keep the price of oil
Surely it's
stable.
been like, it's
Something
gonna go
the president
above
wants to
25
see, and I know
minutes.
Secretary Bessent, Secretary Wright, Secretary Bergen,
That was kind of a quick
EPA
opening, though.
Administrator Zeldin are all working together closely to find ways to do that.
Gave that 5-day time.
No, she'll say Save America Act, Lee.
Laws and operations. Would a tanker going through the Strait of Hormuz be one of the conditions that he would extend that?
I think one of these jabronis asked about the Save Act.
Ahead of him.
They're still like Congress pilled.
The TSA lines, we've all seen the video of that from various airports. Is that going to be what?
You mean
ends
ID?
the stalemate
That low?
to get DHS funded?
Compared to
Well, look,
Save Act?
It's the Democrats who
It's
have
the
caused
Democrats.
this stalemate over the past 6 weeks.
LaGuardia,
The
hit it here.
Republicans' position has been very clear. Fund the Department of Homeland Security. And we've attempted in good faith numerous times, both the president himself and lawmakers on the Republican side on Capitol Hill, to go to the Democrats with reasonable offers, with real solutions. They'll ask for something, we'll give them that concession, and then they say, oh wait, that's not enough, actually. So I think that's why I said earlier, the cruelty is the point. They want this chaos. They want to distract, I think, from the success of our military overseas right now, totally obliterating the Iranian regime.
Obliterating.
And it's very unfortunate because there's only, the only people that are suffering from this are the American people. And I hear that Democrats might be flying out of town tomorrow. How convenient and lovely of them that they get to go to the airport and that they'll get to go home to their families when you have families, TSA workers who are suffering. You have people across the country who are missing flights for funerals and for work commitments because of Democrat politicians on Capitol Hill. Mary, in the back.
Thanks,
Glad
Caroline.
to see you have a seat now.
I do. Thank you. Is the White House satisfied with Republican leadership's efforts on the Save America Act?
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think the president has made it very clear. He wants everyone on Capitol Hill to move as quickly as possible to get the Save America Act passed, and he wants to see that legislation on his desk.
Yeah, there was always some Congress-pilled lady there.
But are there any lawmakers in
Now, is she gonna dodge ID?
frustrated with on this matter and feels could be doing a better job?
I think the president wants to see everybody on Capitol Hill
Is she gonna dodge
move
ID?
faster all the time. That he wants
I think
everyone
so.
in this town to work at Trump speed like we do here at the White House. We'll go to Karen.
Two questions on Lebanon, if I can. Is the U.S.
Bro, why? Yo, I move too slow. I move way too slow. I can't click this shit.
And is the president
Oh my god, I'm trying to buy no ID.
placed and potentially could be for a significant amount of time?
Oh, that's not something.
Did I get any of that?
The first question to the second question.
I got none of that, did I?
That would concern the president. I think that's.
Oh
why
my god, I'm
the
so
president
slow.
to,
It was in the
eliminate the threat of the
60s.
Iranian regime in the Middle
I've got a
East,
slow mouse.
weakening
I've got a
democracies like Hezbollah, who
I've got
is
slow
terrorizing
fingers.
Iran
This is my
for
problem.
and
I'm
I
not-
know that the president wants to see this again move as quickly as
Ah, dude, I should just click the whole thing, bro. I'm like trying to buy it in little bits. I'm like, she just dodged ID. Well,
If these negotiations are not successful, is the only option to open
whatever. I'll buy some
demonstrating
fucking
boots on the
80.
ground, given that all of our
She's not gonna
allies
say ID. I think
they are
like she
unable
would have just said it there.
to help?
Look, that's a hypothetical question. And
Buy
it's
new
a
wireless. That's too much.
hypothetical question. It's also a decision that would have to be made by the commander in chief, and I'm not going to get hit.
This is high sensitive though. Look at this. Oh
When
shit.
it comes to the Vice President, J.D. Vance,
Look how fast it is. Oh, fraud, fraud. JD? Fraud. Where's fraud?
I don't think anything has changed. The vice president has always been a key member of the president's right-hand man and a key member of the president's national security team. He's been part of these discussions throughout this entire course of the administration with respect, again, to the 12-day war that the president and his national security team negotiated a solution to, with respect to the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza and the release of
Israel
the
again?
hostages,
Okay, I'm
which There
cooked.
was a lot of criticism that couldn't get done, and it did. The vice president has been by the president's side every step of the way, and any reporting otherwise is just completely false. I see him in the room. Again, the president seeks his counsel on all matters, both foreign and domestic.
Can you just tell us
Foreign.
who exactly the U.S. is negotiating with in Iran and why the U.S. and this administration trusts that person?
Again, as I
Fraud
said,
might be
this
cooked,
discussion
bro. I
earlier, we're
thought-
not gonna get into the details
it would've been
of
good
the
if it was an
negotiations
opening
and
statement thing,
conversations that
but-
continue to take place, as of course you can imagine. They are very
She
sensitive
prefers
diplomatic
female reporters a
discussions,
lot.
and I would reiterate
I think a part of the
that
female
we're
reporters
following
are
the same answer
plants
when we were
though. That's why
negotiating
Lee.
the ceasefire between Israel
Like the
and
one
Gaza.
she called on
The
for
same
Save
answer
Act is
throughout
definitely
the
a
12-day
plant.
war between Iran
It's a
and
plant
Israel.
reporter.
We'll give you the same answer with respect to many of the other
That's what I
global
think.
conflicts that this administration has negotiated solutions to. President Trump is going to give his diplomats the freedom that
Why
they
is
need,
fraud
to
going
have
so
these
high?
sensitive diplomatic discussions
Am I
without
behind?
negotiating and litigating them through the news media. Fran.
Just to follow up though, because you said that some of the information that's been out there about the 15-point plan is inaccurate, can you say what is accurate with respect to ballistic missiles, the nuclear ambitions, and the Strait of Hormuz, which are things that the president has laid out that he wants
Don't think
to
anything
see,
hits there.
If you've heard it from the President of the United States, obviously it's true, as well as the objectives of Operation Epic Fury. We've said
Like there's that one.
from this podium,
Oh my
the
God,
Pentagon
Epic
has
Fury.
reiterated them. That's why we've
She's
taken
spamming it.
military action to achieve them. So of course,
There was that one woman reporter.
this full 15
That one
plan
briefing that she asked on
Iranian
immediately
figure out
first,
with,
and then
there's
asked
a
the
lot of
most
misinformation to that as well.
softball
And again,
question
I
of
would
all
caution
time.
you, from taking things from
I think the
anonymous
female
sources
reporters, a
rather
lot
than
of them are
verifying
plants.
them, directly with the White House. Christian.
Thanks, Caroline. 2 on Iran. First,
2 on Iran. Can we get one on fucking fraud or something?
Asylum restrictions for Iranians trying to flee the country right now.
Asylum.
Again, that's a question for the president.
All right, what are we up? We're up a little
I
bit.
haven't talked to him about that.
Okay. And then secondly,
We're up
you mentioned
100.
at the top that Iran would be hit harder than they have been to this point if they don't recognize the fact that they're losing this war. Could those strikes happen before this 5-day negotiating window closes if the president doesn't think they're negotiating in good faith?
I have no
You're
ID,
asking
bro.
me to tell you if the commander.
I don't think
would
Save Act
authorize,
gets another
really
question.
Strong strikes against the Iranian regime. That's
Let's
not
get a
something I can
LaGuardia.
Reveal from this podium, true or not. Phil.
Here, in the back. Thank you, Caroline. I was wondering if you would respond to some of this criticism of the administration from past allies like Joe Kent, who have said that the president's red line shifted from Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon to Iran cannot pursue nuclear enrichment. What is the administration's response to that criticism?
I think the president and I have both
They're
strongly
frauds.
responded to the criticism by Mr. Kent, who unfortunately resigned in disgrace and accused the president of basically being controlled by foreign countries and foreign manipulation, which is a ridiculous and laughable assertion. So his accusations have zero credibility as far as this White House is concerned.
The question
Okay,
of the
all right,
red line
Carol.
shifting
Wow.
from no nuclear weapon to no nuclear enrichment. Does
Stupid question.
substance to that argument?
I think the president has been quite clear in what he wants to see from the Iranian regime, which is why he chose to launch Operation Epic Fury in the first place.
Epic Fury again.
Caroline, I have a question for you on the SAVE Act, and then
Oh, no.
follow up on the DHS shutdown.
Sure.
First, Senator
The
Mike
Save
Lee-
America Act.
Save America Act. The president corrected me yesterday. It was my fault. Senator
Another question
Mike
on this
Lee
shit?
said it's essentially impossible to pass the Save America Act through reconciliation. What's your reaction to that? Is the president worried that that strategy might fail?
I think he's willing to try.
Please,
also.
Carol, don't say this
I
shit.
spoke with him about
Carol,
this
please.
yesterday,
Carol,
and he said
please.
we can
Mommy.
work through reconciliation.
Mommy, please
Let's
don't say this
absolutely
shit.
do that. These again are
Mommy,
common
please.
sense policies that are backed by the vast majority of voters across this country. The only people in this country who don't support them are politicians on Capitol Hill, and you all should ask them why they don't want voter ID, why they don't want proof of citizenship.
God.
Again, these are common sense proposals that are wildly popular, and the president is willing to use any means necessary to get this legislation passed and onto his desk.
And then on the DHS shutdown, do you expect
Why are we asking 2 questions?
airports?
Why are we asking again and again?
Well, to address
The same question. You achieved nothing. You achieved nothing with that question.
To address the lines and to get Americans traveling and get them to where they need to be. So the president, I think this was a creative solution. Again,
All right, lock in.
but we have seen wait times decrease, not as much as we'd like. Hopefully they will continue
Lock
to,
in.
but at major airports over the course of the last
Oh my
few days,
God.
ICE
Why are
has
you
been facilitating with travelers in these airports. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. On March 6th, the president said in an interview with Reuters that the U.S. should have a role in choosing Iran's next leadership. Now that
I don't like it when mommy and daddy fight. Bro, why are we asking about the SAVE Act
As
again?
I've said repeatedly,
You like
obviously believes the United States wants to
we already went over this.
position in the Iranian regime
Uh.
that will be much more favorable, that will be willing to work with the United States, that will no longer chant death to America. These would obviously be good common sense
We're
things
still up,
for the
but
United
fuck
States
me.
and for our allies. I think that's what the president meant when he spoke with Reuters that day. Go ahead.
the president yesterday said that he had achieved regime change in
A LaGuardia would bail us out.
because the regime has changed. In terms of,
I mean, has it not?
well,
Has it
Our
not?
entire leadership has been killed, and nobody has
Killed.
really seen or legitimately heard from this alleged new leader. So, wouldn't you say there's been a change in the regime?
There has been a change in leadership. I mean, do you
There's been a
feel
change
as
in
though
the regime leadership, which is what the president said. So thank you for confirming he was right.
I mean, do you feel as though you've achieved leadership level or the personnel in place right now in Iran that you're satisfied with? I mean, have you?
I think it's too soon to say.
In terms of highly enriched uranium in Iran right now, is your expectation, I mean, the stated desire of the president has been to prevent nuclear weapons. Is your expectation that the end game here is that eventually Americans will be in possession of that uranium, or you'll
Uranium.
somehow
have some direct control over the highly enriched uranium that could be used to develop.
Come on.
Again, this is a point of conversation that continues. I think you know the means in which the United States would have to take in order to achieve that goal, and that's a decision for the president to make. Brian, good to see you.
Brian!
Good to see you as well. Does the White House have a comment on a letter that was...
Yo, no one's asked about LaGuardia, huh? We're so
DOJ
cooked.
alleging that the DOJ recklessly released damning information in regards to President Trump's documents.
Yes, I saw that
FBI?
letter from Congressman Raskin this morning, who I would add has zero credibility, and this letter was clearly a cheap political stunt. What the congressman did here, Brian, and for everyone in the room who's hopefully not reporting on this as fact, is that he took untrue and
What are we at right
salacious
now,
claims
30 or something?
in a memo that was produced by Jack Smith, who has been completely discredited for his lawfare and his witch hunts against this president. And that information was unverified. It never even.
I know. I mean, I'm hoping the question, though, on LaGuardia.
What happened to that indictment anyway? It was thrown out. And Jack Smith has been proven, again, to be a prosecutor on a witch hunt against President Trump. He tried to throw him in jail ahead of the 2024 election. The Biden Department of Justice was fully on board with this lawfare campaign. And in fact, this story that was concocted by Congressman Raskin was so ridiculous. I understand his communications team reached out to some outlets in
she's
this
gonna
room
end it.
who responsibly said, we're not going to write this.
Is she going to end this? She just went like that.
However, of course, MS Now did write that story this morning because they continue to be.
I mean, I'll buy some No here.
Propaganda for the Democrat Party, but I think Jack Smith has
She's
been
gonna
proven
end.
to be a liar and a fraud, and this is
Fraud!
a political stunt from a Democrat on Capitol Hill who I think wants to get himself on cable television. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, she ended abruptly. She ended so abrupt. I knew she was doing a... Bro, fraud buzzer beater. Hopefully that wasn't over 45 minutes. It really didn't feel like that, but... Here, I'll bond it. That surely wasn't over 45 minutes, but... There we go. Caro looked at the clock, boys. Caro saw the floating clock and called it a day. I gotta put that in the Discord, right? I'll put it in the... How do I gotta find the clock. Where's the clock rabbit one? Karoline. Caro. Alright, we did I think we did alright. Because that last minute fraud might have saved us a little bit. He's a fraud is kind of crazy in the last second. What was that? Because I was looking at the length market. What was fraud at? Oh my god, fraud was really cheap. Really fucking cheap. But, we made 50 bucks. We made 50 bucks. Alright, profit's profit. Profit is profit. But, that last minute fraud brought us into profit, I think. I think we would have been less if that fraud didn't hit at the end. Oh my gosh, Caro. Caro looked at the clock, bro. She didn't even get time for the LaGuardia question to hit. But Epic Fury, yes. Sanctuary, yes. Nuclear, yes. I mean, those are all dubs. Our biggest miss, I mean, Israel, no, was bad. And ID, no. We lost about $100 on ID. But it is what it is. Yeah, as soon as she does the... That means she's ending. Like, when she does the paper thing, she's ending. So I just started buying no on here. But I think I lost anyways. Oh. It is what it is. Yeah, that's completely bonded too. Oh. GG's, lads. That was an interesting Caro. That went way shorter than I thought it would. That was weird. It was very short for her not doing one for 2 weeks. I mean, there was more stuff for her to cover. I can't believe we got 2 Save Act questions, though, bro. Like, we do not care. We do not care about the SAVE Act. We already know it means voter ID. Oh well. Hey, profit is profit. We made $50. We made $50 from the Caro. So, well, hey, green is green, boys. It could have been a lot more if I didn't make some kind of stupid plays live, but our Sanctuary Yes was the best hit we had. It's about 200 from that. So, hey, that's kind of a dub. You know what? I don't want to fight with mommy. I don't want daddy to fight with mommy just because she said something silly. Just because she said ID for no fucking reason. It's alright. LaGuardia. Rigatoni was correct. She didn't even get close to LaGuardia. What a terrible person. How do you not even give your condolences? How dare you? Alright. But that's done for Caro. It's a little dub on Caro. Yeah, hopefully I'll do the Trump. We're gonna stream Trump's event later today. He's doing an RNC. See? He's doing a Republican convention later today. Where is it? Yeah. Republican committee dinner. This is going to be a yes fest. Holy shit. This is a yes fest. Look at this, boys. We got lots of strikes, though. But this is going to be a complete yes fest. I think last year he spoke for an hour 30. So, we're going to make some money. We're going to make some money with this committee dinner. More than we made with Caro. I'll promise you that. I'll make more than $50 on the Trump than I did with Caro. Hey, GG's, though. Where is the Discord? It is Kalshi. Just Kalshi Discord. If you look up Kalshi Discord. It's the Mention Market channel that I was in. We should get a public cabinet meeting tomorrow. So yeah, that's a dub too. That's another event we'll get for Trump. So, hey, W boys. A win is a win. We can't ask for too much. She hit ID at the end, which was the sucker. It would have been a bigger win if I didn't make that dumb play, but variance. What can you say? Variance, boys. Just a second save that question. All right. I'm gonna go, but I will be back for this Trump event. We'll watch this Trump. We'll stream this Republican committee dinner. We'll make some money on this too. But all right, W boys, W.